Welcome to the Leading Visionaries podcast, featuring stellar conversations with emerging and established leading visionaries. Thanks for joining us today as we celebrate and spotlight the leading visionaries who are thinking differently, seeing new possibilities, have the courage to dream big, take inspired action, and create conscious change all around the world. Now, here's your host, Anjel B. Hartwell.
Hello, it's Anjel B. Hartwell, your executive producer and host of the Leading Visionaries podcast. And today is another episode of Think About It Thursday. And I want to begin by celebrating. We are now downloading in over 20 countries around the world. So that's very exciting. And we are ranking in the top 50 internationally. So that is also very exciting, and I want to celebrate that. I want to say thank you to all of our guests and our listeners, as well as to my team. And today, what I want to talk about is how important it is for a visionary to be mindful about what we buy into. And I'm going to share a little personal story because it's really pertinent to today's topic. Many years ago, I bought into a mastermind group. And in that mastermind group, I, received a bunch of training, learned a bunch of things, made a lot of connections with people. And ultimately, some of the things that I learned, I was caught up in. I had bought into these things, and I allowed what someone else had taught me to override my own natural abilities and to override my own vision. And as a result, I spent many years in a state of feeling incapacitated, of feeling frustrated, of feeling incapable, of feeling like there must be something wrong with me, that I can't figure this out. And recently I was talking with my own coach and the person that I'm working with right now, who happened to be part of that landscape back in the day. And during our conversation, what became clear to me is things that come very naturally for me may not for other people. And so those things that come naturally for me, which may be the case for you because you're a visionary, other people might look at you like something's wrong with you or something's odd about you. And you may feel their judgment and try to fit into some kind of a mold, the linear mold. And so one of the things that became clear to me is I'm really organic. And what that means is I come about certain things very naturally. I receive vision. I take action on the vision. I create success to seemingly magically to the other people who are attempting to do things in a more linear way. And I'm not saying that doing things in a linear way is bad or good. And I'm not saying that doing things in a more organic way is bad or good. What I am saying is it is very important for you as the visionary to not allow your vision to be overwritten by someone else's success path, someone else's way of doing things, or even the belief, maybe the cultural belief that you need to do things step by step, A plus B equals C kind of linear way. And that's the way to success. Truthfully, anybody who's innovative, anybody who is inspired, anybody who is insightful is actually going to see in a different way and be able to create in a different way. And so your job as the leading visionary is not only to hold the vision and communicate the vision to your stakeholders, your team, your potential clients or contributors to your movement, to your investors, not only are you there to hold the vision for those people and communicate that vision, but really you've got to hold the vision for yourself and be mindful about guarding the sanctity and the sacredness and the blessing that your vision is. And so in my own case, I overrode, I bought into, I allowed myself to convince myself that my vision had to be done a certain way, that my work had to be set up and structured in a certain way. And if it wasn't, then I was a failure. So that internal dialogue of beating yourself up for it not being linear when you're organic was very erosive to me, very erosive to my natural capacity and my natural flow. It's kind of like putting a bird in a cage. A bird is meant to fly. A bird is not meant to sit there in the cage. And so as the visionary, your deepest work is to be self-affirming and to surround yourself, invest with, work with people who understand what it means to hold a vision, what it means to be bringing something out of nothing into reality, and to make sure that not only are your coaches, your consultants, and your mentors going to be able to support you in the holding of the vision, but they will also support you in maintaining your own fidelity to yourself, your own fidelity to yourself above all else, your own fidelity to your natural capacity, your natural ability, your visionary insights, your ways of doing things that are unusual. Surround yourself with people who will affirm you. And yes, we do want our coaches, our mentors, our consultants to also point out our blind spots. We do want them to be able to say, hey, have you thought of this or have you thought of that? But you don't want someone who's going to impose their way of doing things over your way of doing things. When you hire people, you are definitely going to want to hire people for their expertise, and you want to listen to them and you want to take what they say in, but you want to take it in a way that allows you to maintain your own integrity, that allows you to maintain fidelity to yourself and to your vision, and trust and know that if you take in something from someone else and it leaves you feeling less than, then that is a sign. If you take in guidance or direction or information from someone else and you take it and buy into it and set expectations for yourself that you need to do it their way, and it leaves you feeling less than, it leaves you feeling deflated, it leaves you feeling wrong or incorrect or like you're a failure in some way, like deeply internally, like you're a failure in some way. And I'm not talking about failing because we fail, we try things and we fail. There's a difference between trying things and failing and feeling like you are a failure because you have not aligned things the way you have been taught by somebody who you might have hired or have been trained by somebody you might have invested to work with. The point I'm making here is your supporters need to support you in maintaining your confidence in yourself and your trust in your own vision and your fidelity to doing things the way you want to do them. I recently saw Madonna in concert, and she is the epitome of somebody who's going to do it her way. She's going to do it her way. She was a trailblazer. and continues to be at, 4 decades in, she continues to be a trailblazer because she's very clear on her vision and she is in high fidelity to herself and her vision. And as a result of that, she produces exquisite, amazing, incredibly powerful messages that serve the world, as well as performances that are, world class, multi-award winning performances. There will never be another person like her. And so take a lesson here from my mistakes, where I made the mistake of buying into a thought form, an idea, a way of doing things, and held myself accountable against a metric that has never actually worked for me in 15 years. Never, this metric. And so rather than beating myself up about it now, I have put that metric in the fire, and I am measuring in new and different ways that are more in alignment with what satisfies me, what feels like success to me, and what has been working for me and will continue to work for me as long as I stay true to myself. So that is our minisode for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and please do send in comments, feedback. Let us know about the episodes that you've been hearing. If you have been enjoying them, we do love ratings and reviews. 5 stars is welcome. We do have the show up for an award. Its first award. We have submitted for its first award, and we'll find out about that in the spring of 2024. And so wish us luck with that. And let me know if you have ever bought into something and you're now aware you need to buy yourself out of that so that you can actually bring your vision in the way that works best for you. And if you're looking for support for that, I potentially am the right consultant for you, and we can sit down and have a talk and see if it's a fit for us to work together. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you on our next mini soon. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, downloading, and listening. Be sure to rate and review Leading Visionaries on Apple Podcasts and share with other people you know who can benefit from today's episode. Leading Visionaries is the premier podcast series for informing, activating, and inspiring the leading visionaries who are called to create conscious change and know that now is the best time to welcome wealth and cultivate a web of collaborative support to bring their vision to life. We invite your feedback and guest suggestions and invite you to subscribe to our mailing list to be notified of new episodes at leadingvisionariespodcast.com.